All right, I'm here with Josh Hinger, Atos HQ, week 3 of the ADCC camp. It's great to see you. What have you been doing lately? What's been up?
Yeah, actually, I just got back a few weeks ago. I was traveling for the past 8 months, circumvented the planet twice since November. So, if you remember back when I did the BJJ Stars match in Sao Paulo, right?
Yeah, it was Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo. And I believe you were commentating.
I was
right?
on the call for that one. That was a fun match.
Yeah, it was a good one.
The guy was surprisingly tough, man. Like, I know you guys met it.
Tough.
Yeah,
he's super tough. We had some history from Master Worlds,
right.
Back in the day, so it was nice to get that revenge match. But he's a good guy. I like him a lot. But that was the beginning of my travel. So I went to Brazil for that week. I came back to San Diego for a day, packed my bags, flew to the UK, did Raw. Remember Raw?
Yeah, Raw Grappling. Still going?
Me, Patrick, and Yuri had finished that off. And then I went to Europe, did a European tour, went to Thailand, went to Dubai, went back to Europe. Actually, went back to Thailand again. When I came home for a week or two, went to Chicago, back to Europe again, and then Bali, and then Korea, and then back home. So I literally crossed the map twice.
Pick up anything useful, interesting in your grappling journey? I mean, that's a lot of different gyms, a lot of new looks.
Yeah, it's what I actually really like traveling to new countries and training with new people and feeling that kind of their training vibe and their styles. And there's always, every seminar you go to, there's 30, 35 people, and then it's like a bell curve where there's like a few beginners and then there's a few experts and everyone else is kind of in the middle, but you don't know who's who. Right, and most of the seminars are no-gi, so you have no idea if someone's just a good blue belt or a black belt, and some MMA guys, and it's a nice to get that variety of training. But I was just thinking about it when I came back here, and I was training with these guys, and it's just so much harder. And I was trying to think of what is the difference? What's the difference between all these other gyms I experienced around the world, and then I come back to here, and it's just so much more difficult and frustrating here. And I think what I figured out was it's just that these guys, like these world-class gyms and athletes, they just don't give up a single centimeter. That's really what it is. You can, if you train with random people around the world, you get at certain positions and you feel them kind of give up and accept. And the guys here, they just don't accept anything. Every micro battle has a micro battle. You know what I mean?
Of course.
It's like not even just battling for an underhook, it's battling for the grip that will allow you to get the underhook. And it's the game of centimeters, and no one here gives up a single centimeter. And yeah, it's challenging.
That's a great transition, because I was just going to ask about ADCC camp, right? I know it's kind of just begun, almost the middle phase here. I want to ask about Andre. Of course, Andre's in the super fight with Gordon. How's he feeling right now? You've done a few of these with Andre at this point. Several years worth of ADCC camps. Yeah. How's he doing right now?
Yeah. Actually, I was surprised when I was still traveling in Bali. I saw that he had started his ADCC training like mid-June, which I thought was super early. And I felt some anxiety myself, because it's like, these guys are already training really hard, and I'm out here sitting on a beach in Bali. And so I started trying to do my own little workouts at home because I saw them training, and I came back in first week of July, and I walked in here, and then Galvao came in right behind me, and I couldn't believe what I was looking at, bro. He just looked like a specimen already. Like, he had already been grinding for a month, and he's just jacked and solid, and like his cardio is amazing, and man, he looked sharp. I came in here soft and out of shape, and just. It was awful, that first week of training with him.
Rude awakening.
Yeah, he feels great already. He's ready. He could fight right now, I think, honestly. Like, he's in tip-top condition. And then actually I think what happened is he realized he had kind of peaked. Not peaked, but like he hit a peak. And he didn't want to get overtrained, so then he took a week off and easy.
That's experience, though, right? I feel a new guy might just want to keep blasting off and see how high it can go, and then enter ADCC a little bit burnt out.
Yeah, it would be a mistake.
So
we kind of do it like stock market, I guess, right? Like we
hopefully not the stock market these days.
But we do we peak a little bit, and then we take an easy week, and then jam it out for 3 weeks hard, drive the level a little higher, and then take an easy week off. Not off, but just an easier week. And then ramp it up again for another 3 weeks.
Any major differences that you could note from the previous ADCC or the one before that? Like, have you guys adjusted the way you do certain things, especially now Andre grows as an athlete, gets more experience as a veteran? Like, has he sort of manipulated the way he makes these camps?
Yeah, I've seen exactly how his training camp strategy evolved since 2011, and in 2011, and I think he would agree with me. He just overdid it. You know what I mean? And he didn't even. I remember I asked him one time at dinner what was it that he did different in 2011 from the previous years, and how it was that he got himself into a situation to win with such a dominant performance too. And all he said was, I just trained my legs like a monster, you know, and that always stuck out in my mind. And that's why I do these crazy leg workouts to this day, you know, and I go and I post my videos of these leg workouts that I do, because that's the thing he told me when he won in 2011. But I think it really wasn't the smartest way to train, you know, just all out every day, just 3 or 4 workouts, jiu-jitsu, powerlifting, running, circuits. I think now he's read a lot more books. He's talked to a lot more professionals and figured out, you know, how to ramp it up at certain times and how to pull it back at certain times. I think back in the day, he would never even take a day off. It was like 7 days of training, like not even 1 day off. And then some days he would grant himself 1 day off. And then now it's like, no, actually we're going to take 2 days off on the weekend. We're having a mid-week easier session, you know. So he's a little more strategic about how he pushes himself. And also, 2011 was 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
11 years ago.
All right, so he's 40 now almost. So he was 29, you know, last time. So yeah, you have to be a little more strategic with how you train.
Let's talk a little bit about your division going to ADCC. You're a veteran of the game. It's interesting mix of athletes in there. We have, you know, guys like Shanji Rivera, then we have some newcomers. You know, what are you looking forward to this time around at ADCC?
Yeah, some new guys and some old school guys. Yeah, I would like a match with Shanji. Actually, now that you mentioned that, yeah.
I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, Shanji's a legend. He's a cool guy. I've always enjoyed talking to him. He's got good vibe, good spirit, and yeah, like a true legend of the sport, both gi and no gi.
I'm just pulling up the list. You know, what's interesting too is, of course, we got Ty in the mix, right? Like, you guys will have an early match potentially, first, second round.
Yeah.
You know, is that kind of nerve-wracking? Has that even been a scenario for you at ADCC in the past? I can't remember.
No,
2019.
2019 it was me and Mike Perez.
That's right. Mike Perez ended up going out to Borzinski.
Yeah. He lost a close match with Borzinski. And I wasn't looking forward to having a match with my own teammate second round. Luckily, it didn't happen. But actually, this year, it's Ty and Lucas.
That's right.
So, super sucks. In my humble opinion, I'm not, ADCC is going to do whatever they're going to do, but in my humble opinion, I was the medalist for 88. So, I think Ty and Lucas need to go first round because both of them have imported themselves from other divisions. Mm-hmm. So, I think they should have each other first round. Hopefully, I can have someone else who's not my teammate first round, ideally Shanji, or I'm sure there's someone else awesome in the division.
I mean, it's loaded. You guys, Laki Bahayans is in the mix.
Yeah.
I mean, this year ADCC is just kind of outstanding in every category. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. Every match is going to be a monster battle. But I hope ADCC will put Lucas and Ty together first round, and I'll get a match with someone else. Maybe Shanji, hopefully second round, take my teammate. Sucks, but it is what it is. I mean, I remember in 66, last time in 2019, Pablo Montevani.
We had
who was it? Ty.
Yeah.
And Rosado.
That's right.
Yeah. So Ty actually had to fight Pablo and Rosado first and second round.
And then he made a strong case to come back this year. So I guess one thing I want to ask about before we kind of wrap this up a little bit is, like, as you look back over your experience and career, like, what gold medal is the gold, but what else are you taking from this ADCC, like, as you go into it? Because it's the biggest one, right? This is kind of, Mo has built this, I don't even know what you want to call it. It's almost an empire. Like, ADCC has just kind of leveled up since 2017 to 19 to where we are today at 22. How do you think about this event in general, I guess? Like, it's sort of a monument to grappling in some ways.
I think it's more, the gold medal is great. The gold medal is the goal. But I don't think, if your strategy to take the gold medal is to be boring, stall, be defensive and strategic, I think that's not the way to win. I think, and even if you did win the gold medal, no one would really care. It's not about the medal, it's about how you get the medal, right? For example, Davi's performance was epic, right? No one will ever forget that. I think, or even Lachlan's performance, was he didn't take the gold medal,
people's champ.
but the journey was amazing, And it's like they say, it's not the destination, it's the journey that's important. And so I think it's how we get to the end is probably more important than the end. So for me, if the gold medal happens, great. I would prefer just to have some really awesome matches, some really just epic, exciting battles, and let the cards, land how they land. But yeah, the gold medal, of course, everyone wants it, and we're going to do our best to get it. But I'm not gonna sacrifice the entertainment aspect of the match just to achieve the gold medal. It's unfortunate because I've done this in the past, and every time I've had a boring match and I've taken a risk, it's costed me something. But I don't have any regrets about that. I'd rather have an exciting match that I lost than a boring match that I won.
You'd love to hear it. Josh, I'm sure we'll be back seeing more training soon, but if not, good luck at ADCC. See you there.
Thank you.
Sweet, dude.